from one horse to an unbroken one. Wow, you're trying to hold on tight? What if I told you the high risk of falling down and getting trampled by the other horses? Well, this is one of the 9 risky events that takes place in Charreria. Doesn't it sound like fun? Well, for many centuries, it's been a big part of Mexican culture and has been passed down by generations and families. When people think of Mexico's national sport, they think about soccer, but you're incorrect. Mexico's national sport is charreria, which is performed with pride and is full of tradition. Now, let me entertain you and tell you where it all began. Back in the day, people had their own land to take care of and their own livestock. In the 1920s, they turned their daily activities into a sport. Product of the Mexican Revolution, when putting a large end to owning large estates, they turned the traditional activities into a sport. Their skill came from the experience of being on horse and managing large cattle. The horsemen who practiced this sport are called charros. Charreria became what it now is after many years of this activity they did on the daily on the ranches. The charros soon became a symbol of elegance and wealth, and now are competing and showing off at events and tournaments. Soon after the sport started growing in popularity, they started to build areas where they can practice and learn how to do this. In Charreria, there are 9 events that take place. They are reining, four-footing on horseback, heeling, steer-tailing, bull riding, team roping, riding on wild mare, and my favorite, Pass of the Death, which is the event I was talking about, where one person has to leap into another horse, which is really dangerous, in my opinion, one of the most dangerous events. This sport is mostly male-dominated, but it does not mean that girls don't participate. In most recent years, girls have been participating in the competitions in the steer-tailing and heeling events. Women also have a specific event that they participate in, and they are called escaramuzas when they do. The women put out a show that consists of a team riding together on their horses to a choreographed dance and music. They are basically the cheerleaders to the charros. Each team competing takes turns, and every team member has a designated event that they participate in. Trying to score the most points, they try their very hardest, so at the end they can be added all up to see who is going to win. There are many national and international tournaments that are held here and in Mexico. Currently, the finals are being held in Aguascalientes, Mexico right now, and many teams from Illinois and around the country are participating right now. As we've seen over the years, the increase of migrating Mexicans to the United States, they have brought along not only their food, but their traditions as well. The love and passion they have for the sport has been passed down through families and many generations. The sport was left to the older men, but in now recent years, it's being taken over by young girls and boys. Now, the sport is becoming popular once again. They work hard during the week, and on the weekends, they spend practicing and competing. Many people do it because they come from the background from the sport, and others do it because it has a connection to their roots, and they love getting involved with their people. The sport keeps evolving, but roping techniques, saddles, and other gear has still stayed traditional, as well as their attire. As many young people get involved, it also becomes very popular on social media. As in most recent years, people have shared videos of them performing in the events, even calling it horse drifting, as I will show you in this video. On social media, it's created a platform for many of these young charros and escaramuzas, becoming influencers who inspire young kids to get involved in the sport, leading it to more united kids. It's been gaining popularity in social media, creating influencers who are now inspiring young kids to become the future charros and escaramuzas, leading to more kids in the United States joining teams around the area and for them gaining the opportunity of becoming part of the sport. Now, in other words, charreria can be described as the Mexican rodeo. We've investigated the sport and how it started and now where it's at in the United States. Now that you understand more about this cultural sport, you'll appreciate one of Mexico's finest traditions. Next time you think about the sport that represents Mexico the most, you'll say charreria.